So we decided on how we were going to process the area. Our concern was there were some light pink spots in the snow, and we thought it may be blood. So we were discussing how to get to that, uncover the blood safely. We decided we were going to process the scene with a leaf blower. I think.
I'm not sure that's the standard protocol for such things. I'm sure there's a way to do this. You didn't want to phone a friend or use a lifeline or anything. You just decided amongst yourselves, you know what we need to do? We need to figure out how to process the crime scene to look for blood. There's a lot of snow around. We see some pink spots. That might be blood. How do we process the crime scene? And apparently what you decided amongst yourselves, since the state police weren't involved yet, is let me get a leaf blower. And no one thought to themselves, maybe they should double check with somebody or call somebody or, think about that for at all. No, just get a leaf blower. Okay. Yeah. Why is a pretty good question right there. Why leaf blower?
There was snow. I had never processed a scene in the snow.
It was a unique scene because there was snow. It was a unique scene because there was snow in Massachusetts. Yeah, I can see how that would be a unique phenomenon that you've never seen before. You've never seen snow before, ever, in Massachusetts. So you had to make it up as you went along. Because, how would you know what to do with snow? Okay, sure. All right.
I had seen a leaf blower used in the snow.
You had? Who?
Being controlled. So that's why it was readily accessible. The scene was debilitating as we were on scene. With the
what CSI program did you watch that had a leaf blower?
So Sergeant Lank and I dug out what I believe is called a 6-inch Cape Cod asphalt berm, exposed it so we could get a better perspective of how far Mr. O'Keefe might have been in.
A 6-foot Cape Cod berm? That's a specific term of art used in your trade, and you know that, but you're not sure how to process snow. Okay, that definitely makes sense. Sure. Okay. Is a Cape Cod berm different than like a berm in some other jurisdiction? Is that how that works? Does it involve cranberry and vodka and lime? Oh yeah. There's that leaf blower. Yeah, it's you operating the leaf blower at the crime scene. I don't notice a lot of leaves, I have to say. So I note the leaf blower is not being used for its intended purpose. It doesn't appear to be a police issued leaf blower. No calibration or state tags or anything. It's just a random leaf blower that I got from my house. I'm sure that'll be good to process an official crime scene. I've been on the job for 20 years, and this is the best idea I've got. Okay, sure. All right. Show me that leaf blower action, baby. You have 3 cops trying to do the leaf blower thing. How many cops does it take to operate a leaf blower? Apparently 3 is the answer. Oh, yeah.
It removes the snow. I was removing the snow layer by layer. And right here, you can see it exposing the cocktail glass.
I don't know who the manufacturer of this leaf blower is, but if they haven't put out a statement disowning all this, I'd be amazed.
You're going to see red spots appear as I remove it layer by layer. These pink spots start to turn to be dark red spots.
Sure, I'll take
your... You can control it.
Oh, no, yep, there's the other officer directing you how to use the leaf blower. You got one of you holding the leaf blower, another officer supervising the leaf blower.
Hold on for a second.
Possibly a third officer filming the leaf blower. You were concerned about the fact that you were using a leaf blower you effectively found off the shelf?
Biological evidence at that time.
You were concerned about destroying biological evidence, and you were using a leaf blower that you just picked up from somewhere else. I don't think the leaf blower has been certified or rated or designed with preservation of biological material in mind. Yeah. Okay. So you know how to properly throttle the leaf blower to make sure that it only excavates the right amount of snow. And you know the right amount of throttle to use for the right kind of snow. I wonder if different kinds of snow require different kinds of leaf blower technique. Like if it's a more dry snow versus a wetter snow, like more slushy, or if there's other contaminants. I wonder if that changes what kind of leaf blower you have to use. Maybe it changes the nozzle. Maybe for a slushier snow versus a drier snow versus a contaminated snow, you need a different kind of nozzle, or maybe you need a different kind of power setting on the thing, or maybe you need a gas versus an electric. Maybe there's a difference there with the biological materials. Unclear, unspecified. I have leaf blower crime scene collection of evidence questions, people, and they're not being answered. Yeah, what if the snow is icy? How does that work in the scene collection technique? I noticed that some parts of the snow seem to have some dirt on it or something. Does that require a different technique? This is Massachusetts' finest right over here. At least he's wearing a high vis jacket. That's nice. Tramping all over the crime scene with his boots, by the way. That's also nice. Doesn't seem to be walking with any systematic care.
And we didn't observe anything at that point.
So you used your leaf blower technique and you observed some pieces of cocktail glass, but did not observe anything else. For example, shards of a rear light from a car or a plastic cover from the light for the car. You didn't observe any of those things using your super duper evidence collection techniques. Neat. The evidentiary picture is really solid over here. That's great.
Yep, we took 6 blood samples. Yes.
6 blood samples.
Well, the blood samples, because they were frozen, we debated on how to collect it. We didn't think swabbing was going to be easy to do if it was frozen. So we decided on finding some type of temporary plastic evidence container. We were able to find large cups, and we took 6 samples. We bagged the 6 samples, and Sergeant Lang transported them back to Canton Police Headquarters.
What?
With respect to those in a crime scene preservation effort,
First time.
and you indicated your testimony was temporary evidence containers to collect that blood, correct?
Yep, we utilized cups, plastic cups.
Those were red Solo cups, right?
That's correct.
The same
Red
kind of
Solo
Solo
cups.
you drink, beer out of at a barbecue.
Yeah, sure, you could.
Objection, Your Honor. Strike.
You could drink beer out of it at a barbecue, or you could use it to collect blood evidence at a crime scene. I don't think the makers of Solo cups were aware of all their potential uses. I mean, their marketing team, tries, I assume, to think of all the possible ways one might use a red Solo cup. But I'm imagining the makers of Solo cup did not think collection of DNA evidence of a crime scene. So, hey, their marketing team missed something. Maybe that's a future ad campaign for them. Could be fun.
You didn't go back to Canton PD to get actual evidence containers, correct?
Yeah, why would we do that?
Have temporary plastic containers that what we were looking for. We're looking to take samples of snow. We wouldn't have had, I know for a fact we did not have those. We needed bags, needle containers, things of that nature. We're all set. But as far as plastic containers that we wanted to utilize, we didn't have them.
Why not? I suppose is a reasonable question. You didn't have any sort of containers for the collection of evidence that you could use for this purpose. First time you've ever dealt with anything like this. Why would we have containers for this purpose? Okay, yeah, so we didn't have any containers, so we had to make do with the red Solo cups. Okay.
We have blood swabs that are in plastic containers, but for what we wanted to take a sample, we did not have. So we improvised.
Okay, I have a follow-up question on this thing. Okay, so the other day I was at a convenience store and they were selling an evidence collection kit. But the evidence collection kit, in addition to the red Solo cups, also included a ping pong ball. So I have questions. How does the ping pong ball relate to the collection of evidence? How do I best use the ping pong ball? Is it a density test? Is it depending on how much the ping pong ball floats? Is that determined like the density of the substance? So if it doesn't rise as much, that tells me something. Is it like some sort of density testing metric? Or do I throw the ping pong ball into a collection of cups, and whichever cup it goes into, that's the one that designates the killer? So it's a divining rod, except in ping pong ball form. Is that what it is? Divining ping pong ball? Wherever one it was, that tell you which one the killer is? Is it a magic 8-ball, but every side is the same because it's a ball, and so it only gives you one answer? Is that how that works? How do I use the ping pong ball in the evidence collection technique? Instructions unclear. Please provide help. Also, it occurs to me that I did not realize that every frat party was secretly a training ground for the police. I did not know that every frat party and every sorority party, basically in the history of ever, was actually a secret training ground for the police, that we did not realize. We were all learning techniques that will be valuable to us as part of the crime scene investigations. Who knew? Who knew? Maybe that's why they don't need to do training on it, because we've been trained and training ourselves all this time. We're all trained on how to use the evidence collection technique that is the Solo cups. Maybe that's what's going on.
Nope. We took 6 samples, individual samples. Our philosophy was we'll let the crime lab extract it the way they best see fit.
Sure.
Those 6 samples were bagged.
Don't you dare try to pin this on the crime lab. Don't you dare try to pin this on the crime lab. There are times where it's definitely a crime lab screw up, but this isn't one of those times. This is a you problem. We'll let the crime scene lab figure it out. Woof.
I assume Solo doesn't sell contaminated cups. I would say none.
So they're certainly not forensically stable. They're not sterile.
I don't know what definition you're looking for, but I
mean, sterile has a pretty well understood definition. I mean, I'm sure the makers of Solo do try to keep their factory nice and clean and, relatively safe for everyone, but it's not exactly a clean room, I'm sure, at the Solo factory. So I'm sure they try to put an effort, but I don't think they were contemplating this needs to be sterile in the sense of completely germ-free. That's what the word sterile would mean, germ-free, because, we might need to collect blood with the Solo cups. So I'm not sure what you mean by sterile. Well, what I meant by sterile was, sterile, as in like germ-free, dirt-free, pristine, like you might use in a crime scene collection, something like that. No, not sure about that term. Okay.
Did an evidence officer actually take custody of these items?
No, because it was being transferred to the state police, so it wasn't going into our permanent evidence law.
Okay,
so those cups sit for the 3 days between January 29th and February 1st.
In a refrigeration unit in temporary evidence.
And is there a log to sign in and sign out to make sure that the chain of custody of items like this are maintained?
The evidence officer keeps that log, yes.
Is there any log, Lieutenant Gallagher, of these items being booked into the temporary evidence locker?
There should be, but I don't know for a fact, but there should be, yes.
I agree that there should be. I'm asking you if there is.
I don't know the answer to that.
The fact of the matter is there is no log or document.
That's great news. Never even logged into evidence. Fantastic.
Into the temporary evidence.
Never logged into evidence. That's good procedure.
I don't believe that's accurate.
This isn't my first time watching this, and I have to say it somehow gets more stupid every single time I watch it. And I don't know if that's real or if it's just an illusion. There's like that audio illusion where you hear a sound and it's produced in such a way that it sounds like it's continuously decreasing over and over and over. It sounds like it's always decreasing in pitch, but it's an illusion. It isn't really decreasing in pitch. It's just the way your ears perceive it. So I'm not sure if it's like that. It's an illusion where it just seems like it's always getting more stupid every single time, but it's really the same amount of stupid. So is it really the same amount of stupid and it's just an illusion that it gets more and more stupid every time? Or is it really getting more stupid every time? I'm not sure. But I have to say, I'm looking at these Solo cups with the blood in the paper bag from the Stop and Shop on the floor of the police intake that's just sitting down there with the uncovered cups, not labeled, in the brown bag and all the rest of it. I'm thinking to myself, I don't know, man. It's even more stupid than I remembered. Maybe it's my brain trying to save itself. Maybe my brain is purging knowledge of the stupid so that it doesn't have to be infected by this knowledge. It's like the computer. It's like a computer virus getting filtered out by the antivirus. And my brain has decided that this knowledge is so stupid, it will literally make me dumber. It's negative knowledge. It's negative information. By the very fact of me learning it, I actually know less. It's a theoretical concept, negative information. The very concept of learning it means I lose less. So my brain, perhaps detecting this, has figured out a way to filter filter the stupid out of my brain. My brain has some sort of kidney or liver or some other mechanism inside of its mind to filter and streamline the stupid so that it doesn't infect me. And then I look at it again and my brain's like, what are you doing, man? I work so hard to filter this out of your brain stream. I worked so hard to filter this out of your brain stream and you're exposing it to me again. Do you have a death wish? What is going on? Why is it so stupid? I can't be bothered. I'm hurting. Please make it stop.